Hello students, welcome back. Now we're starting some new material. So quick review. If we have a system of linear equations, so if we have two equations and they're both linear, they might have a solution, and that solution would be the point where they cross. However, not every equation has a solution. If the two linear equations have the same slope, then they will not cross. So they have the same slope, they will not cross. Well, the same slope and different y-intercepts. This one has a -2 y-intercept, this has a 0 for a y-intercept. So if you have the same slope and different y-intercepts, you'll never cross. If you have the same slope and the same y-intercept, by subtracting 2 on both sides, now I have y equals 1/3 x minus 2. I have the same slope and the same y-intercept. I have the same line, and therefore I have infinite number of solutions. Now, we're going to concentrate mostly on systems of linear equations that have one solution because they're just more interesting. And we can see this system of linear equations, y equals -1/3 x plus 2 and y equals x, they do have a solution. Unfortunately, the solution is somewhere between 1 and 2 and somewhere between 1 and 2. So I'm going to guess that the solution is 1.5 and 1.5, but I might not be right because it's somewhere in the middle of this square, and it doesn't tell me exactly where. So I can guess, but I can't be sure unless I prove it. Now it is true, so we're going to start with knowing that the answer is 1.5, 1.5, but we're not going to guess. We're actually going to figure it out. So to do that, we need to do something called substitution. Okay, so let's learn about that. Now on our two equations, y equals -1/3 x plus 2 and y equals x, it's really easy to substitute because y equals x. So I can take this x and I can stick it in for y. Or I could take the y and stick it in for x, I don't care. But I'm going to take the x and I'm going to replace y. I'm going to substitute, instead of y, I'm going to write x equals -1/3 x plus 2. Now, I just need to solve for x. That means I need to take this variable and I got to move it to the other side. And if you remember from last quarter, move a variable from one side to the other, what I need to do is I need to add the opposite. So I'm going to add 1/3 x. Instead of -1/3 x, I'm going to add 1/3 x on both sides because it's equal. -1/3 x plus 1/3 x cancels out. So on the right side, I have 2. And on the left side, I have x plus 1/3 x. So let's take a look at that. If I have 1x, that's like 3/3 x's. And I'm going to add that to 1/3 x's. So 3/3 plus 1/3 is 4/3. So I have 4/3 x on the left. 4/3 times a number equals to, what is that number? Well, if I divide by 4/3 on both sides of the equal sign, on both sides, 4/3 divided by 4/3 is 1, and 2 divided by 4/3 is like the same as 2 times 3/4, and 2 times 3 is 6/4. So fraction 6/4, 6 divided by 4 gives me 1.5. So my x is 1.5. But now I got to figure out what y is. And unfortunately, that is pretty simple because x equals y. So if y equals x, then y is equal to 1.5. So the solution to this system of linear equations, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2 and y equals x, is 1.5 and 1.5.